I am the byproduct of my father and my mother. At 7 years old, I learned that my mother was extremely sick, and she passed away shortly after my 7th birthday to a disease called lupus. The challenge was I didn't even know that she was sick because of the type of person that she is. She would give us the clothes off her back, the shoes off of her feet to make sure that her boys, my brother and I, who's 14 months older than myself, had everything that we need in order to be successful. It really didn't dawn on me that she wasn't coming back, Jim, until I was 10 years old. My father had since remarried, and I recognized that life was just drastically different than it was before my mom passed. In that journey, what I began to recognize is that a mom to a son and a wife to a husband, that's a significant asset. And so when my dad no longer had the support that he got from my mother, he no longer was my superhero. I didn't grow up watching DC or Marvel. That stuff wasn't important to me because I had my dad. But the pressures and the challenges of life that sat in once my mother was gone was the kryptonite to my father's success. And so that actually created a lot of tension. He was no longer coaching our programs. He was no longer teaching us entrepreneurship skills. He was no longer around. And my dad became a distant enemy to some extent. And it wasn't until I came to faith later on that I began to truly understand that I hadn't put myself in his shoes and understands the challenges from his perspective. And so there were a lot of conversations of appreciation and forgiveness that happened at the age of 24. And my dad and I have been working on a better relationship ever since then. And the one thing that he's began to say is, hey, you're always going to be my big baby. You're always going to be my son. And I want to let you know that I love you. Well, that was something my dad never told me after my mom passed away. And so in this industry now, I get the opportunity to work with clients from all different walks of life and help them understand the nucleus of a family, what it equals, what it means, and then ultimately to not understand the significance of a spouse that's at home taking care of children because they are worth their weight in gold, and there's no dollar figure or amount that could ever amount to the impact that they're having in the life of their children at that time. You never know what it equals. And so I've just been so fortunate to have that story, to be able to share that story with conviction, and to honor my mother. Pamela Elaine Hudson was her name, and give her the opportunity to see that I love her and I care for her by the way I love my clients and care for my own family.